On Google Hangout, I'm joined by Nomsa Mazwai, who's an artist, but today she's also going to be speaking to us about the business of arts. Just tell me more about how Emthonjeni Arts began and what it's all about.
Well, Emthonjeni Arts was built as an economic development intervention by an organization called Aspire. And Aspire is a development agency, and they work in the Amatole district in the Eastern Cape. And they look in different areas about what is it that they can do that will bring about economic development for the rural poor. So they work in rural areas. So in different places with different ideas. In one place in Stutterheim, they built a bridge. They also built a furniture making business. But in Hamburg, because Hamburg is so artistic and it's really, really beautiful, and it's a biosphere, they decided to build an artist residency. So Emthonjeni Arts was built for that. So social enterprise. Everything we do here is for the benefit of our local community.
And I mean the reasoning behind building an arts residency in the most impoverished part of South Africa, which is the Eastern Cape.
Yes, so the reasoning was that a lot of the people that live here were very artistic, they were into crafts, but their products were kind of limited. They could only sell to tourists that came to Hamburg. There was no access to international markets. So with Emthonjeni Arts, some of our work actually takes into consideration that we would like to take art from this region to an international market. So last year we had the Mali Desert Festival, was here for a concert and festival, a 10-day residency that we held. And so when the Mali Desert Festival returns to Mali, we're going to be taking some artists from the Eastern Cape to go and perform on that stage in Mali. So it's just about taking people to international markets and taking the Xhosa culture and Xhosa music and Xhosa crafts to the international world.
And now let's speak about the business side. As the director, this organization runs on like millions of rands each year. How are you continuously making sure that these funds are raised?
Well, I mean, that's one of the most difficult parts about the job, is that you have to try and raise enough money. Obviously, it runs as a different kind of business. We're a social enterprise, so we're not extremely profitable. But we measure our profit in the impact that we make on our local community. So usually when we approach funders, it's people that see returns in the form of increasing the quality of people's life. People that consider that as important, people that consider community development as important. So those are the kinds of people that fund us and give us money. So presently we are funded by the Department of Economic Development, Environmental Affairs and Tourism in the Eastern Cape, and they've given us our operational funding. But we've knocked on many doors, and now we're really waiting for the Department of Arts and Culture to play a role. And then we have a lot of private funders. Thandiso Mazwai is quite a big funder of this organization. Akua Koranteng is a big funder of this organization. She owns Zinzi Communications. So she's from Johannesburg. So we have some funders that have given us some funding to do a couple of projects. And then, of course, ordinary South Africans that book in and stay with us, help us keep the business going.
And that's a very interesting thing about Emthonjeni Arts, because it's not just about the business and empowering people. It's also a place where people can come and rest and relax and book into hotels and that sort of stuff. So just take me through that.
So Emthonjeni Arts is the facility, and here we can accommodate up to 40 people on site, and we can also accommodate up to 200 people off site in our community homestays. That's just another way that we take money into the community. We have a dance studio, a craft studio, workspaces, an exhibition gallery, a theater, a performance space. So when people come to stay with us, we take leisure tourism as well. So when people come and stay with us, they really get to stay here and have an artistic experience. We don't have TVs. Sometimes leisure people come in, they're like, where are the TVs? And we're like, there's so much more to do in life. So much more just in terms of enjoying the environment. Like I said, we are in a biosphere. We have birds here that you can't see anywhere else in the country. The kind of wildlife and flowers that you can come and see in Hamburg. We're in between a river and the beach, so our views are spectacular. So it's really great for people to come and stay here, and that is part of our business. That's how we get an income. We get income from leisure tourists. We get income from businesses that come here, because we're also a conferencing facility. And then with the income that we make, it helps us cross-subsidize to have artists come and stay with us, because most artists can't afford to stay here.
And I mean, why is it so important to you, Nomsa, to create sustainable jobs in the country?
It is important to me. I mean, the jobs that we create, so we have 30 jobs that are permanent that we've created on site. And then in addition to that, we have our homestays, which is job creation in the form of people using the skills and resources that they have available to them to their own benefit. And then for instance, our restaurant, we only use organic food. We grow our own food in our own garden and in community gardens. Our laundry service is a cooperative, so we work with the community. So we've created more job opportunities so people can take advantage of the little opportunities that come out of us operating. But of course, those opportunities only exist if we get bookings. So the more bookings we get, the more people benefit in our community. And I think it's important in South Africa that people's jobs have a lot more to do with where they are and what they have to offer, instead of people having to leave their homes in the Eastern Cape to Joburg to go and look for jobs and basically suffer there. We'd rather bring development to the people, to the communities.
And how are you making sure that you're continuously running this massive project, but at the same time, you're still doing your music on the side?
It's very difficult. In fact, it doesn't actually happen. I do some music, but it's usually when I'm on leave. But this job is a 24-hour job. Like I said, it's a hotel, so even at 12 o'clock at night, there's something to do here. So it's not as if I can just leave on a Friday and come back on Monday and have shows over the weekend. I have to be here over the weekend as well. So it's been a very difficult balance. But at Emthonjeni Arts, we have internet. That's one of the things that we invested in. Even though you're in a rural area, we have fast, high-speed internet. So I can record music with international producers. I work with producers from all over the world. I can record my music while I'm here. I can upload my music to iTunes. So my relationship with my music career at the moment is more digital than performance related. And I get an opportunity to work with artists in the Eastern Cape. For instance, this weekend is Freedom Day, and we have a lot of artists from the Eastern Cape coming to perform with us. And so on that day, I'm going to be preparing this whole time, but on the 27th is my day off, so that I can participate and be involved and sing and perform and just be an artist. So it's a difficult balance, but somehow I make it work.
Thank you so much, Nomsa, for joining us, and all the best with your ventures.
Thank you for having me.